Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttradesolutions.com on a Friday. Today's the 17th May. Yeah, I got a couple of standouts I want to talk about. I've actually been talking about this nat gas breaking out, silver, all the metals really are the kind of standouts this today. I've been mentioning silver as a potential breakout, and that is indeed happening today. So let's get right into the charts. Again, I had a great class yesterday. We sold it out. I'm going to probably have another class coming up. So stay tuned for that. Also subscribe to the newsletter. I'll be writing about some stuff, interesting stuff this weekend. And subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, put some commentary and so forth. All right, let's get right into the charts here. And really the averages kind of just hovering around all-time highs. In fact, we're below the all-time highs in the S&P kind of today, last couple of days, other than that big move with the favorable CPI number on Wednesday, really have done nothing. So not a lot to talk about. We have some pullback levels coming up here. Next week, NVIDIA is the main event, if you will, the next probably major catalyst to the markets. Also, rates are still a factor. And in fact, rates are coming up again today, which is really interesting. You know, similarly with the NASDAQ, not a lot going on there. Some levels, pullback levels here also in the NASDAQ. And the Dow still kind of lagging a little bit. Russell, nothing going on there. Bitcoin looked like that also wants to break out. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin. And VIX touching a new low, almost a new low, actually. It's not quite there yet. The low in December was 12. So we're sitting right on the lows here. And it could probably maybe go into the 10s now. But, you know, notice the market is kind of struggling to get anywhere above the highs. So that's going to be interesting to see if this, again, as I've said many times, this is not a sell signal. So I want to make clear that even when I talk about the VIX, this is not a sell signal. All it does is just gives you a warning of complacency. And typically what happens when you hit these low levels, even though the market still may go higher, returns are somewhat limiting. And then you'll get a little pop and then the market will pull back and then keep going higher. So I'm not, again, you don't go out and sell everything just because the VIX is at 12. In fact, the market could still go higher from here. So, but it does give you, it's let's say it's the analogy I would use, it's a compass, not a GPS map. It'll tell you where you're in the neighborhood, but it won't give you the specific address, so to speak, right? Rates did come up today. As you can see, and again, when does it get impact stocks? I don't think until we get above 450, maybe around here. And what could trigger that? Who knows? Next week, we'll see what happens. The dollar also falling, just meandering about. Nothing really happening on the currencies that we need to talk about, other than the usual suspects. The yen kind of hitting a level up here and then kind of pulling back. And it would be great if the yen started having these great levels, because these big range, because that would actually enable some nice trading in a range bound situation there. We talked about the metals, gold possibly making another new high here. But the two standouts, clearly silver just off to the races here, breaking out. I've been talking about this. I wrote about this on the 30 breaking out. 50 is the all-time high on. Just if you're not familiar, 50 is the all-time high in silver. Go look at your long-term chart. $50 was actually hit in the early 2000s and back in 1980, whatever it was. So there's a potential for this thing to a lot higher. Also along the same lines, you got copper still looking pretty strong. and platinum even catching a bid here. So you've got all these markets there. Nat gas, which we are here in TTS, we are long oil calls. That is also looking pretty good. Probably, possibly, it's getting a little stretched, so I would be very careful to add new positions right now. But that looks pretty good. And then on the metals, not really a whole lot happening there to talk about. So, anyways, next week, NVIDIA is going to drive the bus, I think, right? NVIDIA also struggling to get past the old highs even today. You can see this is the, let's review this real quick before we get out of here. On the intermediate term, we've hit a level right there, and NVIDIA have pulled back about, just 25 points. This is nothing with NVIDIA. But obviously a strong earnings reaction on Wednesday would propel this to probably new highs as well. So this is really the main event next week. Everybody would be watching this to see how the market reacts to that. So anyways, that kind of does it. Again, if you're in the metals, that is the, so we are, nat gas, metals generally are the standouts. Oil, interestingly, not really doing much, which is really fascinating. So a lot of these other commodities are really starting to take hold here. So I would be careful to short, but on one hand, but on the other hand, make sure you get a big reversal, because these markets do tend to gain momentum. These are huge momentum style markets. So you got to be very careful in shorting, especially silver and platinum and all these as well. Okay. All right. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Take care.